Final score, Aberystwyth Town 0, Wrexham 5. Another fantastic performance by this exciting Wrexham team. And yeah, we remain equal top of the table and we continue to impress. Now, I've got to say, first things first, the major thing that you have to say about this match, the conditions. Whoa, these were not good conditions to play football in. It was pouring down, it was incredibly windy, it was cold as well, but you don't really notice that much because of the driving rain and the wind. There were awful conditions to play football in, and of course Aberystwyth ground is not built up much, so you're really quite exposed to the elements and the wind whipping in off the sea. Oh my word, bearing that in mind, really Wrexham were superb. I mean, the wind was swirling around quite a lot, but the sort of prevailing direction was at our backs. So you could argue in the first half that we had that as an advantage. And although we were massively, massively on top, and it was 2-0 at the break, yeah, there was that little question of, is this one of those games where the wind's dictating the flow of the match, and actually the second half we'll end up penned in our own box, just as Aberystwyth were in the first half? Well, the answer was no. The game was a bit different in the second half, and Aberystwyth did have a bit more of it. But we continued in both halves to be dominant and just show such quality. Sometimes, of course, when you play in conditions like that, your quality can be counteracted by the fact that such freak conditions. Not this time. This time Wrexham really imposed ourselves on it. Didn't matter what the conditions were, we really showed our quality. Interesting change in the Wrexham team. Rosie Hughes given her first start under Jenny Sugarman, and it was certainly a move that paid off, because in the second minute she'd scored. This was the game which meant she's not only the top scorer in the club's history, she got that by a country mile, she also has made more appearances than any other player in Wrexham Football Club's history. And yeah, what a way to mark it. Just the second minute, and it was a nice build-up. Ava Suckley switching the ball nicely to the left-hand side, Hannah Snape putting the ball into the box. Hughes pops it wide. It looks like Barker running down the left channel is going to run it out for a goal kick, but brilliantly she keeps it alive. The Aberystwyth defence switch off, no question, and Barker puts it in the box, and Hughes is there close range to finish, and Wrexham have got the lead. And it was really, I think, an indication that, as well as our quality throughout the game, there was a sharpness and alertness about us, which was always going to mean we were going to take advantage of situations like that. It was deeply, deeply impressive. It also was an indication that Barker was going to be an absolute nightmare for the Aberystwyth defence. She was terrific from start to finish. So Wrexham kept the pressure on and kept pushing on. Hannah Snape was really advanced on the left and kept finding loads of space, bucket loads of space, as Aberystwyth failed to really get across and cover. They were sending Morley Hughes up on their right to be their attacking threat, and she would have a big moment early on to really make sure that had paid off. But it meant Snape was dictating the game from the left-hand side. So 9th minute, again, Snape receiving it, pinging another good ball in. Her passing and crossing was good. Mahmood took it really nicely and switched the ball out for Suckley, who worked it back in the box. Mahmood laying it off. Clark 25 yards out, I think, with the wind behind her, thinking, yeah, I'm trying this. Drills in a shot, which Sophie Steele is able to hold on to. Steele has a really good game and goal for Aberystwyth and keeps the score down, to be frank. A couple of minutes later, though, comes the big moment for Aberystwyth, who really had to take advantage of this sort of moment if they were to get anything out of this game. Lovely diagonal by Chambers, and Lily Morley Hughes does really well. She just beats Erin Lovett to it. Lovett manages to hold her up but can't stop her, ultimately going one-on-one down the right channel. She sets herself, she drills it for the top right corner. Brilliant save by Lizzie Craven, who acrobatically pushes it round the post, stands up really well, makes Morley Hughes aim for one of the corners, and then saves it superbly. Great work by the Wrexham keeper. And normal service is then resumed as Wrexham completely dominate the rest of the half. Hughes, fighting high up the pitch, wins the ball. Snape feeds it to Barker, and from 20 yards out, she drills in a shot which draws a really good parry from Sophie Steele, forcing the ball out to the right-hand side of the box. Suckley keeps it alive, though, and dings in a glorious cross. Rosie Hughes loses her marker 6 yards out, and it comes just too high for her, and she can only flick it on. She can't get enough leverage to head the ball home. Then it's Mahrez breaking down the breaking down the right-hand side and drilling in a powerful cross. Rosie Hughes again has been smart off the ball. She's lost her marker. She's standing 6 yards out, and the ball just flashes in front of her, in front of an open goal. She just can't get to it. A frustration for Wrexham. Halfway through the first half again, super pass, this time by Suckley, finds Rosie Hughes in the right channel. She carries it in and then pulls it back, and it looks like Barker is bound to score from 6 yards out, but Evans lunges in from nowhere with a terrific tackle, diving in from behind Barker to prod it just wide of the right post for a corner. We're now getting to the point where you start thinking, okay, we are battering them, we better get that second goal, and we still don't get it for another 10 minutes or so. A cute quick corner by Lily Jones gives an opportunity for a cross, and the ball is swung in by Snape. Suckley, attacking the far post, is unlucky, hits it on the volley, but it's a tight angle and she can only hit it into the side netting. And then Jones, again, doing well, finding Mahmood, who turns and shoots from 20 yards, something she really does regularly and well, puts it just over the bar. But, said Lily Jones in those last two moves, getting involved higher up the pitch, and it's a sign of what's coming, because she gets that second goal at last in the 36th minute. It's straight from the goal kick from that shot by Mahmood. Wrexham are just penning Aberystwyth in there. Rosie Hughes wins the ball back from the goal kick, finds Mahmood, who does well to prod the ball square. Barker with a lovely through ball. Lily Jones has run from deep beyond the strikers, and one-on-one with Steele, she drills it with power into the bottom right corner, and Wrexham have that 2-goal lead. Now Aberystwyth are having to hold on and make sure it doesn't get any worse as they continue to be pummeled by the wind and by Wrexham. A free kick's half cleared. Hughes tees up Baker, who from 15 yards out drills a shot just over the bar. Hughes asks for a penalty after she's done so well laying the ball off in a crowded area with good weight on it for Barker. I haven't looked back at it. No, I don't think it is. She does collide with Scourfield, but I don't think the defender's done anything to deliberately impede her. I think it's just a collision. There's a brief moment of hope for Aberystwyth to get up the other end, and Cerys Bufton, who scored a hat-trick last week at Britain Ferry but found it very hard to get into the game in an attacking capacity this time, hits a tempting ball across the face of goal, but nobody was able to attack the 6-yard box. And the last chance of the half comes when Lily Jones, in the first minute of added time, drills a powerful 25-yard shot. I think it might have just been going wide, but Steele couldn't take that chance and gets down and does well to push the ball behind for a corner. So, the switch around, and now we're going to find out whether the wind had really massively assisted Wrexham or not, and the answer is no, not really. Like I said at the start, Aberystwyth will have a bit more pressure with the wind behind them in the second half, but Wrexham continues to dominate and make lots of chances, and within the 3rd minute of the second half we have scored. Could have come a minute earlier. Suckley doing well to feed Snape again. Snape feeding a great ball in, and Rosie Hughes is one-on-one against Steele. She takes it onto her left foot and looks for the bottom left corner. Steele does really well to save it with her foot, goes behind for a corner. But the corner leads to the goal. It's played in, and Barker, 15 yards out, puts it into the goal mouth. Hughes again is looking to finish. Strong tackle on her, spins it away from goal, but straight into the path of Bartle, and she smashes it with relish into the roof of the net. Steele does well to get a hand to it, but has very little chance of stopping it. And with the Wrexham Ultras going crazy behind that goal, Wrexham are now 3-0 up. And that continues to be the pattern. Like I say, Aberystwyth do look to take the game to us a little bit more. Scarfield does a free kick from a long way out and decides to try a luck with the wind at her back, and it goes comfortably over. You can see the logic in it. And actually they have another one. Matthias has a free kick from genuinely the halfway line and goes for goal. And that one, with the wind aiding it, does drop close to the bar. It's a good effort, but to be fair, Craven has backpedaled and has it covered. But it's mostly Wrexham making chances. Bartle with a really good interception starts a fast breakaway. Mahmood breaking down the right hand side, goes around the outside of her marker. Her cross is blocked. Suckley though rips it back in. It looks overhit. It looks like, well, she tried to shoot or not there. It looks like it's out, but the backspin keeps it in. And again, Barker is alert. Even though it looks like it's gone, she still chases it. She keeps it in and sweeps a nasty looping cross, which is dropping under the crossbar in the wind. Steele drops it. Luckily for her, a defender is able to get there first to launch it away. But in the 62nd minute, she'll be beaten again. It's another really nice move. Lily Jones with an excellent penetrative pass and excellent weight on it. The number of times the ball was just rolling out for a throw-in, because even though it was staying on the ground, the wind was taking it and just it would hurry off for a throw when a pass looked perfect. This was a terrific ball by Jones into the path of Iddenden. Iddenden driving, I beg your pardon, that's the other goal, isn't it? Lily Jones feeding it on nicely to Suckley on the right hand side. She sweeps a great cross in. Hughes gets a bit of a slice on it as he stretches to try and shoots. Mahmood has a swing, can't reach it, but it drops to Barker, and Barker 8 yards out very coolly gets it onto her right foot and drills it across Steele and inside the far post. An excellent finish. Craven has to do one more thing to earn her clean sheet. A long throw in, which Buffton gets onto the end of 6 yards out, and Craven does really well to save with her feet rushing off and narrowing the angle instantly. Wrexham start making changes with the game. Neve Adams comes on for Snape as on the left. Iddenden comes on for Rosie Hughes. Suckley whips in a cross. Barker does brilliantly at the far post. It's really coming in fast. She knows she's just got to redirect it. It's coming a little bit high, and she really controls her header superbly back across the keeper, and it just scrapes the far post. Wrexham made a couple more changes as well. Erin Lovett comes off, Phoebe Davis comes on, and also Faye Knox comes on for Mahmood. Knox looked good, as did Adams, and all the subs played their role, but the two new players looked promising again. And Wrexham get the goal. It makes it 5-0 with 5 minutes left. Again, well, this is the one I accidentally started describing earlier. Knox does really well at first, carrying the ball forwards, feeds Lily Jones, and Jones, with that lovely pass that I've already described, sends Iddenden through the middle. It's great weight on it, and Iddenden takes full advantage, holds on to it, and then when Barker inevitably comes sprinting around the outside, she rolls him in perfectly, and Barker cuts onto her left foot and finishes coolly inside the left post to make it 5-0. Karen Allen comes on in the final minute of the 90 to replace Nat Clark. The ref doesn't add too much on because he's freezing by this point. And Wrexham have earned a superb 5-0 win. Cardiff inevitably beat Pontypridd United, so we needed to make sure after that fine draw against Cardiff that we were not going to then drop points and end up having a gap appearing between them and us anyway, and we made certain of that. A superb effort by the team in the conditions, because it was ever so difficult to play in those sorts of conditions, and they played some really good football, really quality constructive football. Huge credit as well to Aberystwyth, who never let their heads drop, and their best spell really was about around 10 minutes from the end when 4-0 down, but they still tried to push on and pen us in using the wind. Huge credit to the fans who came to Aberystwyth. A lot of them are from Wrexham. The Wrexham Ultras behind the goal made lots of noise, but the main stand on the side of the pitch looked to be mostly people wearing red scarves. So that was superb. And also, I've got to say, credit to the Badger and Coombs team who streamed the games for us, because my word, the weather buffeted them and they just kept going. They were so good. It was a brilliant afternoon, I've got to say. I enjoyed myself massively. And Wrexham keep marching on. With the final score of Aberystwyth Town 0, Wrexham 5, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.